Hello, everybody. I'm just getting things set up here, and I'll give it a few minutes to let you guys pop on. I know there's a really weird glare right now, but don't worry, that won't be there in a few minutes. Happy Friday, you guys. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, you're watching it on a Tuesday, because I do my Facebook rewinds. Hey, Chris, on Tuesdays. So if you're on YouTube, you're catching this on Tuesday. But for everybody here, it is Friday. Woot woot for Friday. Hey, Kathy, Daisy. Thanks, guys. How's it going? How's everybody's Friday going? Are we excited it's Friday? The kids are out of school, so days of the week mean nothing to me anymore. I'm like, which day of the week is it? Oh, it's Friday. Hey, guys. Okay. So we're going to make a little something, and I haven't really planned out what we're going to make. I've been really deep in paper shares and getting that out. And quite honestly, I've been really overwhelmed with it. Not necessarily because it's a lot, even though it is a lot. It's just been really difficult working with the kids home. So I don't know, you guys might have seen that last, or at the beginning of the week and the weekend, like when they got out, I had such a good plan, and we made rules and we made routines, and it may just be because I'm feeling particularly pressured and to get these shares out because it's such a short turnaround time. So, anytime you have kids they know that you're pressured or you're feeling stressed about things, what happens immediately. It's like they pick up on that and they make life hard. So I don't know, it's been a particularly hard week just with them being home and adjusting, and it's our first week. So I anticipate things to get better, but it's just that adjustment of the kids are out and it's a fairly big, the annual paper share is always really big, just because there's more paper. So anyways, I'm not very prepared. All of that to say, I'm not very prepared for our project today. So I want to use, hi, Martha. Let me just catch up here, you guys. Hey, Marty. Lots of you have popped on here. Happy Friday, you guys. Every day is Friday. Hi, Daisy. That's so funny. When I had little tiny babies, when they were really little, I remember thinking, what does the weekend mean? Because they were so little, our life was so, the same, it never, and my husband works a job where he's not off on weekends. And he was working a job then that he had split days off. So 1 week he'd have Thursday and Saturday off. And then the next week he'd have Friday and Tuesday off. And so I remember thinking what is the weekend? Who even cares? And then now that they're in school, now the days of the week matter. But, when they're out for summer, I'm what day of the week is it? So today what I wanted to do is I want to use A Wild Rose, and this is a bundle. You can get this as a bundle. The reason I wanted to use this is because of this sentiment right here, blessed. Can you guys see that? And it's a fairly large sentiment. So we're going to use quite a few of these images. But anytime that I am feeling particularly stressed or a little bit down about, different things, work or whatnot, I just like to remind myself that I'm so blessed that I get to do this. It's definitely a job for me. I do this to, help pay bills and do things for my family and buy clothes for my kids. And it's a way for me to be able to do that. Oh, I almost used VersaFine, you guys. We need to use Memento because we're going to do some coloring. So make sure you have your Memento ink. And so I just like to remind myself when things are a little bit harder that, you know, I am blessed to do this, and things will change and things will pass, and sometimes it's just a season of different things that are happening. And so when I saw this stamp set, I knew I definitely wanted it just for this sentiment alone. My Stampin' Up! Team is called Blessed to Stamp, and so I really love this. And this is probably one that I will keep forever. I wasn't crazy about the images at first. I was like, okay, yeah, like they're floral images, like that's great. But now that I've seen some things done with it, I actually really, really love it. And it is a $1 Million Achiever set. I forget who designed this one, who helped design this. I feel like there's lots of $1 Million sets out. I feel like I got like 3 of them out of this new catalog. I feel like there's quite a bit in this catalog. So this is a good one to pick up. So what I want to do right now is, I was thinking that I would just stamp out some of these images so you could see how these stamp out, because I think until you kind of see something stamped out, it can be hard to kind of picture what it does. And this particular set, you have the pieces that you can layer together. So this is I think this is a distinctive set. So it can look very realistic. But then I also think that, yeah, it is. This is a distinctive set. Okay, so this, if you haven't ever used one of these distinctive sets, they can be a little bit weird at first. So I just want to show you guys this. Okay, so if you can kind of see with the image, okay, do you see how like this, it has like grooves and like you can see the image? Well, the distinctive stamps are flat. So you can see, like, do you see the difference? It's like completely flat. So it can feel a little weird when you're stamping it. So the first one I'm going to do is I'm just going to do some color. So we're going to do Flirty Flamingo. We're going to stamp this out. And then with the distinctive, we're going to come back in. I wonder if I should do a lighter color. Like maybe let's use Petal Pink. Oh man, look what I did. It just slipped and I... So with these photopolymer, you can see through, right? So you can see how the ink is picking up on your stamp. So I like to just set my stamp right on there and tap really gently, and then you're going to see how the ink picks up on that. Okay, so I did that a couple times, so I feel like it has a lot of ink on it. And then, so let's just stamp. Let's just stamp a couple times and see what it does. And then, oh, you guys can't see. I'm off camera a little bit. Okay, so I just kind of set that down and you can see where it's going to pick up. Now this is where, like, this does not look very good to me at all. But again, remember with the distinctive sets, like sometimes it's hot. You got to play around with them a little bit. You got to play around with the pressure of them. You've got to play around, like, I'm not sure based on the photo exactly how this one's supposed to look. So I first just want to play around a little bit and get a feel for it. And then, like, it also is going to depend on the color you use. I got to kind of try to get, okay, so this looks like it's about lined up. So we'll add that and see if it makes a difference. So it makes a little bit of difference. I feel like it just kind of filled it in, which... depending on which colors that you're using, this could be a really good look. I'm not really getting a very realistic look from this, like from just stamping this. So I don't know like how I'm feeling about the layering. So let's use, so this one is the one that I believe is for actual layering. So, just got to try to line it up. This way. I think it goes like this. I could be totally wrong. Yeah, I think I was wrong. I don't think I lined that up properly. So this is where, so this is the great thing about this set. And I'm going to show you the card we're going to make I'm not using these two to fill it in. We're actually going to do some coloring. But the great thing about this one is you do have the ability to do some really pretty layers. And again, it's just, you're just going to have to play around with it a little bit to get, like, can you guys see? Yeah. I mean, I feel like the hardest part is lining these up. Like, I don't know exactly, like, how would this line up? Would it line up this way? Nope. Is it this way? Nope. I feel like it's like this, but oh, was that UPS? I think it was. I don't know how to line this up, you guys. I think I'm getting frustrated. I don't know. Like, how does this line up? Okay, so does it line up this way? Like that? Like this? Oh, I think it's like that. Okay. But I didn't line it up great. Okay, but you can see. Okay, so now let's set this down. Depending on what colors you used, it's going to depend on the look you get. So I have Flirty Flamingo out and I have Petal Pink, but what if we use Calypso Coral? I think that that's a great idea, Helen, to make some dots on the stamp on how to line it up. So that's why I always suggest, this is the very first time that I'm playing with this set. So here's Calypso Coral, which looks like is darker than Flirty Flamingo. I was trying to go for a lighter outline, but okay, so it looks like that. So I think you're right. If you put some permanent dots on there, like once you figure it out, I think that's going to be helpful. And then I think I messed up, you guys. It's a little bit hard when I'm not directly over it. Yeah, I think if I just would have been over a little bit more, but I think that looks better than the Flirty Flamingo. So always play around with these when you first get them. Don't expect, like, I didn't really expect to just sit down and use this one and like understand how it worked the first time. And also I didn't really expect to know exactly what colors I would want to use with it until I was able to play around with it a little bit. Look what I just did. Honestly. So it's very interesting that they have the different layering pieces, which is nice. And then the dies are also going to go with this. So here's the die. They have this beautiful stitched piece here. We might cut some of these out. And then the dies also have the smaller floral. So you can just cut this out. So if you just wanted to cut your flower out, you could do that. But then there's also this piece here, which creates a smaller flower. Okay. So let's make a card. And I'll show you sort of what I'm going to do. I'm not using any designer paper for this card. Let's cut our Flirty Flamingo. I'm a little nervous now using this color. Well, I'm going to color it, so it's not going to matter. The stamping part won't matter. And then also when I'm not on camera, I'm going to play around a little bit more with this card. With this stamp set, and just see where I can get directly over my images, and I can kind of see a little bit better what's happening. That's part of it. When I'm filming, it's a little bit hard. It's not how I would normally be stamping. Okay, so Flirty Flamingo cardstock, and I'm just doing this as a card base, which I don't always do. A lot of times I use a Whisper White base, but I have gone through so much Whisper White cardstock. I'm really running low. Okay, so this is cut at 4 1/4, and then I folded it at 5 1/2. Then I'm taking a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I'm cutting it at 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm doing that twice. So I'm gonna put one inside here, like so. But what I want to do, just gonna grab a piece here, and we're gonna use Flirty Flamingo, and then we're gonna use the outline of the flower, and we're going to put that there, just like that, in the corner. Really easy, right? And then we'll put this inside the card, so it has a little bit of a decorative element inside the card. Like that. And then we're going to need this piece and our Memento black. And I need to clean this stamp. Okay, because then we're going to do some coloring. Okay. Okay, so now, Violet, he can be in your room right now. Stop being mean. Sorry, guys. Okay, so we'll ink this up. And this is in Memento because we're going to do the coloring. So I'm stamping this kind of all over. I went off the edge on these, and then we'll just fill in. Where we need to. So that looks good. So I want to make sure that's completely dry. Kayla's been down here a ton, and she has been using my blend markers, and I'm feeling a little bit nervous about the state that I'm gonna find these markers in, because I'm like, what has happened here? Okay, so this is dark petal pink, and then is this light petal pink? It sure is. Look at the difference in that, you guys. Oh no, this isn't. This is light. This is a retired color. What's this? Dark petal pink. Dark petal pink. Okay, so I must have 2 of these. Okay, so this is a retired color. Okay, I was freaking out a little bit. Okay, and then we should have Flirty Flamingo. Yeah, this is... I'm thinking maybe Calypso Coral would be better to go with. Oh, but I used Flirty Flamingo as the base. I think I need to use Flirty Flamingo. Oh, I should have used Calypso Coral as a base. I think those would blend a little bit easier. Well, okay, so let's try these. Yeah, I have some Copics and I have some other markers, and then I have my blends, and I think it's okay. She's been using them. She's pretty good at being responsible with them, but I've been getting a little bit nervous when she comes and shows me some creation she has done. And I'm like, oh, that was done with my blend markers. So I'm just going to do some, I don't know how these two colors are going to blend. So we're going to see. So I'm just going into like the middle of the flower and kind of by the petals here. And we're just going to see how this works. Okay. And then let's do... Yeah, see, I think this might be too dark for what I was going for. I mean, I guess it's probably fine. I don't know, maybe I should have just used dark. Maybe I shouldn't be trying to be fancy. I'm trying to tame it down. Guys. Okay, so let's go in. Well, maybe it is what I was going for, because I wanted this like really bright pop, like kind of in the middle. I mean, that's sort of what I wanted, but I think maybe Calypso Coral would have been like potentially better for what I wanted. It still is this bright kind of in the middle, but I just don't know I don't know if it blended great. Going over it with the light petal pink will definitely lighten it up, because that's kind of what blends do. They get in there and they seep into the paper and they kind of lighten things up. I don't know. So what do you guys think? Okay. So you can kind of see it lightened it up a little bit. So not exactly, but I think we'll keep going, because I mean, you just don't know until you try, right? So we'll go back in here into the middles. So I'll just do all of the middles all at once, because the other coloring with the petal pink color, you guys saw how easy that was. I mean, it was almost like sloppy coloring, but that's the great thing about the blends is you're really just pulling out and blending that color, and you don't have to be too particular with large spaces like that, which is a great... another great part of the stamp set is the coloring is really easy. So I'm excited to have this in my collection just for, I feel like you have like 3 different ways you can use this between the coloring and the stamping and getting it. And I think it would be it'll be fun to explore the different colors with this for the different type of card you're looking for. I think these would make great sympathy cards, like this image. I always struggle with sympathy cards because I never know exactly like what image to use. And I think these would be great for sympathy cards. They would be great for birthday cards. It would have been great for Mother's Day. I wish we would have had this set for Mother's Day. Oh, and then you know what I had done is I went kind of over it. I think these would be really great for invitations. Like if you, I actually haven't really ever done invitations, like stamped invitations. I know my friend Carrie did her own wedding invitations where she made them and they were gorgeous. But I think this would be fun for like invitation. I actually sort of like layering these two colors. I feel like it almost gives it like a neon effect. Like a neon orange. Okay, so then the great thing, like I said, is with this light petal pink, when we are blending this out, see, I'm just really going over this really easy. Hold on one second, guys. I have to deal with my kids. Andrew, Michael, come to your room and find something to do, please. Well, then come have fun with him in his room until I'm done with my live video. And I can deal with Violet. I can't deal with her right now. Sorry, guys. Okay. This actually tones it down a lot more than I was a little fearful when I started and it wasn't working how I thought. Yeah. Mom duty first. Yeah. It's okay. They'll get it when I'm done because I just said to them, literally, I'm getting ready to do a live video. Everybody find something quiet to do. I don't know, can you guys hear them? They're still fighting. Like they're fighting over some toy or something. Violet's yelling at Kayla. Kayla said, I'm playing with it. I mean, they're really going at it. Oh, I really love this image, you guys. I really love it. I don't know, what are you guys thinking of the rose? This would be gorgeous, like cut out. Did you guys see the technique I did with the floating frame? I'm thinking this would be really amazing to do that with, that technique. I actually really love the colors. I was scared, you guys, but I think... yeah, I did. I did use the middle names. Yeah, they're all going to get it when I'm done. When there's no witnesses around, they're going to get it. Okay, so there's that piece. So what I was thinking about doing next is a couple things. So you guys can just hang out with me for a few minutes and we'll just see how this is going to go. So here's my big shot. And then let's use some black cardstock. The first thing I want to cut out is this image here. But I think I also want to try to cut this flower out and just see what it looks like. Sometimes you can't really tell with these dies until you actually see them. And then when you see them, you're like, oh yeah, like I get the way that looks, or I get how I could use that. Sometimes I just like to cut out all of the dies when I first get them just to see how they look. So here's this. And then let's cut this border out because I'm not sure, again, I'm not sure how it looks. I don't have enough paper to cut the whole thing out, but we'll just cut some of it out. So it's not going to hurt anything to cut it out and look at it. And then I just have I have a little dish right here on my desk. It's a little camera dish. And sometimes I'll throw dies on it that I'm, working with or I've cut out. I have a whole box in a drawer here at my workstation, and it is full of die cuts that I haven't used. The kids get into them and kind of use them every now and again. Okay, so let's see. Let's look at this one first. And we'll get this because it's going to be hard to see with black cardstock. Oh, this is beautiful. I just like to tap my dies, and most of those pieces will come out. Okay, let's throw that away. So there's this one, which is gorgeous, and this one is fun. So I really love that die cut. And I also really love this one right here. Hey, Cindy. So I really love this one too. I think this is going to be a great piece to have. To use. So I was thinking that maybe I would layer them, but this also would be a great die to do this kind of on a card like this, to do multiples of these and make a card out of it. That would be really fun. Or to do this in the middle like this, and these kind of all over like a background. So those are a couple ideas just by cutting those. See, when you cut them, it's easier to kind of have that idea. So what I want to do is bring my Big Shot back over. So I want to cut something one more time. So this time we're going to use Flirty Flamingo. Where are my plates? Oh. Okay. Hey, Elizabeth. Okay, so we'll put Flirty Flamingo down here, and then this stitched die here, and we'll cut this out. Okay. And it cut out. I kind of thought it didn't cut out for a minute because I felt like I didn't run it through enough. Okay. So now what I want to do is we're going to grab the Blessed, because that's the one I wanted to use. And we'll just go ahead and use Memento Black ink because it's the black ink I have out. And whenever you have new stamps, like this is a brand new stamp. So what I'm doing is I'm just setting it on my ink pad, and then I'm pressing my stamp down into this. And I'm really letting that stamp pick up that ink and kind of soak into that brand new stamp. And then I'm always going to stamp it. And you can see it's a tiny bit blotchy, right? Because it's a brand new set. So here's a tip that you guys can do. Do I have an eraser in here? Oh, I do not have an eraser. So if you have an eraser, you can do this. Or if you have a little sanding block, you can do this. Just rub it over your stamp until you see it turn white. You'll see the surface of that stamp kind of turn white, and it works the same if you do it with a red rubber eraser, like the big ones that you used to get. You maybe had them in school, or we all have them randomly in the junk drawer. You can do the same thing, and it's just called conditioning that stamp. And then look at what a much crisper image I got by doing that. So you can see the first time I stamped it, it really had these really blotchy spots in it. But then when I did it after I conditioned it, look how crisp of an image that is. So that's much better. And it doesn't damage. You don't want to, if you're using like this is a sanding block Stampin' Up! Used to have. If you have a nail file that has a very fine, like a fine, whatever this is called, like the nail part of it is fine. Like this one is really rough. But if you have one that's really fine, you can, that's what I did with this. No, it doesn't void your warranty with Stampin' Up! Heck no. You're just conditioning it. So, and really, like, if there was a real problem with it, you would know right away. Like, I wouldn't do this and then in 6 months call Stampin' Up! And be like, my stamp's not working. If there was a major problem with it, you would know right away. And then you would contact me and say, hey, there's a problem with my stamp and I need help, and I would help you get it replaced. But what happens is a lot of people will stamp it this first time and they'll be like, oh my God, my stamp's not working. It's broken. And they freak out. And then they call Stampin' Up! Or they call their demonstrator and they get their stamp replaced. And then it does it again and they're like, oh my God, my stamp's not working. Stampin' Up! Sucks. They don't know how to make stamps. And they freak out. When really it's just because it's mostly with the photopolymer, the way the photopolymer stamps are created. There's not all images need this, but sometimes there's images that do. Like this one in particular, with it being a larger, kind of thicker font, I could tell right away that by doing this, I was going to get a much crisper image. So again, you're not grinding it down to the... like to where there's nothing there. Like you're just going over the surface until the surface turns white. And once it turns white, then you can put it in the ink again. And it's the same with an eraser. Like if you do it with a red rubber eraser, the red ones are the best. Yeah, this is what I want to do. It will turn the surface white and it helps to condition it and it helps your stamp to pick up the ink. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so here's our blessed and you can see that I did not center it. There's a reason. Okay, so let's just cover the ink up here so I don't ruin my thing. And then we're going to grab some foam. I'm so low on foam, you guys. I have all this weird colored foam, and then I don't have any white or black foam left. I really got to get some. My Walmart was out the last time I looked for some. Okay. So before we glue this on here, what I want to do is take this yeah, you can totally do that. Yeah, the sometimes it is just like a film or like the way they make the photopolymer stamps is incredibly weird. And you would never like they basically it almost looks like they're washing this material and then all of a sudden it like appears. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. And so sometimes it's just that it is just a film and a red rubber eraser will take it off. And then sometimes there's a tiny imperfection and by sanding it helps. So it just always like take that into consideration and really let that stamp soak in the ink so that it is so it's really soaking into the photopolymer. Okay, so I'm hanging this off the edge kind of down here. What I'm trying to do is make sure that it's straight. Okay, and then we'll turn this over. It looks pretty straight. My snips are here. Hey, Linda. Okay, then now, and then of course, anytime you're having any kind of problem with a stamped image or a stamp set or a die set, reach out to me so I can help you figure it out, because sometimes there's little glitches and different things, and it takes, you know, a little bit to figure it out or get it fixed, or there's a problem with one of the die sets that's like a real problem, and I didn't realize it until I saw somebody use it, and I was like, oh yeah, like that would be a problem. So of course, you guys know I need to add a little something to this. So let me grab a little something. Oh, this will be pretty. Okay, so I grabbed some Nuvo drops. These are the jewel drops. And these are going to dry sort of clear. Like it'll dry a little bit clear with just like a little pink like just a little pink kind of glaze to it. You guys know I can never just stop. So this will take a little bit to dry, so I'll have to set it aside to dry. But we'll add several of these. Oh, I feel like these got a little bit larger, like as I've kind of as I get used to using the product, then there's like the dots start getting bigger. These will dry much clearer than this. Like they're pretty dark right now. Okay. And then, don't you know, we got to do at least one more thing. Is let's just add some glitter over the top of these flowers with our Wink Stella. So even though this is pretty simple, like when you look at it, it's not a lot of stamping, it's not a lot of coloring, but you can really step it up. Like the glitter will really make these flowers pop. And the Nuvo dots, they'll dry and they'll be just like enamel dots. I probably got too many. Or I feel like I got these two lined up over here. Like I feel like I need like just another one right here. Like maybe that's good. Maybe that evens it out. Right? Okay. So then see that. I'm going to try to get it a little closer. Oh no, my battery's dying. Okay, better wrap it up because my battery is dying. Can you guys see the glitter? It really is so pretty. There's a little bit of it. Can you see that? So pretty, you guys. So I love this. I love this set. I can't wait to play around with it a little bit more when I am directly over it to maybe line it up a little bit better and really kind of see the images and play with them. And so I hope you enjoyed seeing this. I'll have a PDF and a photo up for you guys this afternoon. I am taking a break. I'm at the very, very end of my shares, so I'm taking a break from that, and I'm actually going to do some stamping because I just need it. I'm feeling a little blue today and just feeling a little overwhelmed. So I need to take a break and do some stamping and have some fun. And I would really appreciate it if you guys would consider placing an order with me for your Stampin' Up! Goodies. If you have any questions about any of the stuff that I used, or you need help placing an order, I am happy to help you do that. And then let me show you what the giveaway is for this week. It is Friday, so we have a giveaway, and I have some paper for you guys, a set of dimensionals, and a set of embellishments, and I'm going to throw in a 6x6 pack of one of the new papers, one of the new designer papers. So you'll get 3 sets of paper, and one will be brand new. So I really appreciate you guys tuning in, watching my videos, and sharing them. I'll be back all next week. Things will be back to normal next week. The shares will be done, and I'll have brand new projects up for you guys using brand new product, and we'll be live 3 times next week. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you guys later.